AZ Rant is a segment where I take a less structured and humorous approach to look at any topic that crosses my mind relating to the subject of anime and manga. It contains my raw, biased opinion and is for the purpose of creating debate and or discussion, so it shouldn't be taken too seriously. Got that? Great. Now shut up and listen. As someone who has a big passion for the medium of anime and everything about it, I do like to take an active interest in the state of the industry I'm a fan of. And if there's one message that's been radiating from the voice actors and top employees of every major anime company in the past few years, it's this. The anime industry is dying. And yes, when I say the anime industry, I do broadly mean the Western anime industry, or to be more precise, the US anime industry. Now, when I first heard this a few years back, I merely shrugged it off like so many other people. But as time progressed, I've witnessed the death of many anime companies such as Geneon, ADV, Tokyopop, Bandai, and with the gradual decline of dubbed anime coming out every year, it's harder to just ignore these statements any longer and pass off the speculations that we, the fans, had nothing to do with this. Okay, stop. I know what you're gonna say. I know the decline of the industry is due to a more complex issue than simply blaming fan subs and scanslations, and this isn't going to be a video going on about how piracy is killing the industry or how companies are not adjusting fast enough to the digital age, but it's going to be more of a video about the attitudes of the fan who don't know, don't care, or are seemingly happy about the decline of this industry and have no interest whatsoever in supporting it. This occurred to me recently with the announcement that Bandai would stop licensing and producing new animes and DVDs, to which I saw many fans reacted with a resounding meh or good riddance. These were the people that brought us Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Code Geass, Eureka 7, Gurren Lagann, and basically every Gundam series and heck even Haruhi and K-On! Yes, they were slow to adapt to a changing medium and relied on an old, outdated business model, but nothing that warranted some of these people that were downright cheering their demise as if the loss of another major US anime company didn't mean anything. And that's the kind of attitude I'm talking about. So this is going to be a message to those people, and maybe some of my own viewers who didn't know much about this stuff beforehand. One of the problems is that a lot of fans have the thought that even without the US market, anime would remain the same and still keep marching on unchanged with or without the US industry, which is a highly ignorant thought. Firstly, I think a big misconception is that fans think the Japanese anime industry is a fledgling, thriving place where the streets are paved with manga, anime dominates television, and companies are swimming in bathtubs for their own money. Well, reality check here, guys. Animation studio revenue has gone down steadily in the past few years, meaning some studios have had to resort to closing down or relying on American dollars to finish big budget projects. And as for television, well, it's recently lost its primetime TV airing block and has been replaced with reality shows, meaning even the popular animes have been reduced to airing at late hours or on cable channels. Anime in Japan isn't exactly thriving even with the US industry, so what would happen if all that extra funding got cut off? Sure, anime may still survive and self-sustain through the masses of crazed otaku in Japan buying the latest Yue Hasegawa love pillows to be their waifus, but it will be a shadow of its former self. There would be continually less anime coming out every season, less diversity of anime save for those one marketed to the otaku community, and shows will have a lower budget, meaning the overall quality of anime would go down. Let's not forget that we would also have to say goodbye to any anime that was created with a Western audience in mind. Say goodbye to any future Cowboy Bebops, Samurai Champloo's, Trigons, Outlaw Stars, Bacchanals, or if you're looking for a more recent example, how about the movie Redline? A 7-year-long hand-drawn animation experiment that resulted in an experience I can only describe as sexual intercourse for the eyes, and is not only one of the best looking animes I've ever seen, but one of the best looking films I've seen in general. Something that never would have seen the light of day if not for an audience outside its country of origin, considering the piddly amount of screenings it got in Japan, and is now relying on its foreign sales and screenings to make up its costs. And it's not like we can't have an effect on the industry ourselves right now. Back when TRIGON first aired in Japan, it flopped big time and never managed to catch the interest of the Japanese fans for one reason or another. So why would there be any interest for Madhouse to make a theatrical film for this franchise that has such low interest over a decade later? Yes, it was because of its popularity in the States. Hellsing Ultimate would have never been made if not for US investors, and Big O only got a second season thanks to interest overseas. I'm still hoping I can convince enough people to buy Bacchanal for there to be an incentive for Brainspace to do a second season, and I'm sure all of you have some franchise you want to see more of too. So we could be losing all these possibilities because of what? Because all these American anime companies are money-hungry, self-indulgent pigs who only care about turning a quick profit, so by fucking them over, we're collectively sticking it to the man? In an industry where the top voice actors get paid less than the guys who work at Walmart, you think the only thing these people care about is going home and smoking their cigars made from $100 bills rather than going into a more profitable industry? Seriously, when I see the malice and contempt from fans against these companies proudly defying everything they represent as if they're comparable to the massive faceless multinational corporations of the billion-dollar movie and gaming industry, I want to slap someone. Especially when I can see that at times sometimes the industry is trying to adapt to the consumer needs, and all I see is more excuses and complaints every time it takes a new step. The last time I checked, Japan never got to legally see Game of Thrones at the same time the Americans did, and everyone outside the UK has to wait to see the new Doctor Who episodes. So why is it that within the anime community there are still complaints when a company actually tries to provide these services for them? It seems that we as a community have gotten spoilt. Fan subs are faster than ever with a higher quality and an unbeatable price point, giving some people unreasonable expectations for an industry that appeals very much to a niche market and relies entirely on Japan, a xenophobic country who are very adamant in giving any kind of control to a foreign market they have no idea about. If we don't get it within 0.1 of a second of a show airing in Japan, then we might die of withdrawal symptoms seen in fucking crack addicts. If the quality isn't high enough for us to clearly appreciate the extra 1,000 pixels given to display the pimple of Mikuru Asahina's tits, it's not good enough. If the subtitles aren't cool enough or don't contain a plethora of weeaboo words that no one outside the community would understand, then it's blatantly fucking unreadable. Seriously, there are some people who honestly believe they're entitled to free anime as if it's their fucking birthright, and nothing the industry does or people like me say to them will change their opinion. But not everyone has to be like that. Or to be more precise, we don't have to be like that. I hate to sound like some uptight, obsessed douchebag complaining that people aren't buying their anime, especially since I am not the perfect supporter myself, but I do what I can, and the least I can do is tell you guys how you can do the same. Apart from the obvious buying DVDs and merchandise, you can start by supporting the online digital distribution if you don't have much cash. Crunchyroll, Netflix, Hulu, the Anime Network, Funimation all provide streams to hundreds of different animes, some free, some not. Heck, two of my favourite shows ever, Baccano and Beck, are available here free on YouTube, and I recently watched Steins Gate free on Anime On Demand. Not forgetting you can also download some animes at a small price from iTunes, Amazon or Xbox Live. Or if you don't live in a region where these options are available to you or you're just low on cash, the least you can do is just share this information. I believe a big part of the problem is that some people don't even know the difference between illegal streams and legal streams, and the more popular these sources get, the more likely you'll see a similar service come to your area. But we have to start somewhere. So I'm urging you guys, not as some voice actor or some person who works in the industry, but as a fellow fan and anime lover, just try supporting the industry. No, I'm not asking you to suddenly go out and spend $300 on the newest Blu-ray release of Fate Zero, or spend your entire year's worth of rent on completing your One Piece manga collection, but you can start somewhere. Instead of going straight to your illegal anime streaming sites, try checking your Crunchyroll or Anime Network or Netflix or whatever to see if the show you're about to watch can be done supportingly. But most importantly, tell your fellow anime watchers about it. I'm just one guy who can only reach a certain amount of people, and it's up to you, the community, to decide whether this medium does grow bigger or not. Hell, all you need to do is just link them to this video, post it on forums, show it to your friends, or if you have your own following on YouTube, make a quick video about it. I'm not expecting to start a revolution or anything, but whatever does happen to the industry in the future, at least I can look back at it and think that I did the best that I could. And I'm going to stop now because now I sound like a walking fucking advertisement. So, I'm asking you guys now, what do you think about the state of the anime industry? Leave a comment or video response for your chance to get featured in my next rants. Anyway, that's it from me now, so with your guys' response to my last rant, what do you think of dubbed anime and dubbed haters?
So first up, I gotta kind of tell you guys what I prefer, dubbed anime or subbed anime. Me personally, it doesn't really matter. If it sounds good, I will watch it. I'm not one of those elitists that is like, only subtitle if you're watching American, you're not a video fan. I'm not one of those kind of